For today, one of the reasons why I said we're going to work on today, the meditation is going to be removing obstructions from the mind, is because in my experience in working through a lot of my own challenges, and that's an ongoing process, but from my past, but also helping, because I run this business, this hypnotherapy coaching business, and I've had a lot of years of helping people to overcome a lot of their obstacles and their challenges as well, whether it be like smoking or, lately over the last 5 years, the majority of people that are coming in through the doors are for anxiety, stress, and depression. And a lot of that is because of the way our society is structured. And a lot of that is because we really become disconnected as human beings. What we're connected to is what the TV says, or what the media says, or what the latest guru says, we're getting further, in my opinion, we're getting further and further away from the ultimate source, which really is within us. And listening to that and being in tune with that, it used to be called intuition, and having that intuition, that inner wisdom. And we're attached to, what is the medical profession saying about this? I mean, I tell you, if you just scan the medical profession's announcements over, a month, you'll get different stories on everything. Everybody's got a different opinion on it. And it'll drive you batty. It'll drive you crazy, what should you do about this? What should, no, they say this, no, they say that, no, they say this. And it's like, they're trying to, I literally believe, not if they're consciously trying to do it, but they're trying to drive us crazy. They're really trying to drive us crazy, because we're going to get more pharmaceuticals if we're crazy, right? So it improves their bottom line. So I really don't think that they have our best interest in mind. I think it's good to be aware and to be alert, but to live in fear and to live with massive amounts of disinformation is almost, in my opinion, is almost criminal. But, that's the way it is.
It's the way they interpret things, right? Everybody interprets it in a different way, right?
Yeah, it's interpretation, and it's also who can make it into the most, fantastic, sensational story.
Or to help them benefit them.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, negativity draws and sells people. People are, for some reason, attracted more to the negative stories and how they, people are dealing with that than they are the positive, more reinforced stories. Okay, it's just part of our nature of growing up in Neanderthal days when we had to run from wild tigers or saber-tooths and, fires and clans, opposing clans, and, we survived more by paying attention more to the negative than we did the positive. I mean, the rain was nice, the sun was beautiful, but, if you've got this thing chasing you with big teeth, it's probably good to get the hell out of there. So genetically, we're predisposed to have that in us, to zero in on the negative and to pay attention to it, because, in this day and age, we really don't need to. We have very few saber-toothed tigers chasing us down the road. I can't remember the last time I was chased by one. Okay, but on the other hand, we really do need to come more into the positive and come into ourselves, and that's been my whole life's mission. So I want to start off with a very simple meditation. This is so simple most people don't get it. And it's the meditation I started off with eons ago, when my martial art teacher said, sit down, cross your legs. Being teenagers, it was easy for us to do. Keep your back straight. Breathe into your lower stomach. Don't breathe fast, just breathe rhythmically. And shut up. And those were our instructions. Every class. Sit down, cross your legs, keep your back straight, breathe deep, and shut up. Okay? What should I be thinking about? Just concentrate on your breathing. Don't concentrate on anything else. Now, the wisdom of my martial art teacher was this. He never liked to explain things in that depth, because he figured the more information he gave in explanation, the more you think about it. And the more you think about it, the more you miss the essence of the meditation. And his understanding was basically, you want to learn martial arts, don't you? And what teenager who joined up on a martial arts club doesn't want to learn martial arts? Kicking, punching, yeah, let's go, right? And he knew he had you with that. He knew that you were going to keep coming back because you wanted to learn that. You didn't want to learn meditation. But he also knew that if you just did it, if you did the meditation, there would be no explanation needed, because you would start to experience the benefits in due time, and it would explain itself. And so he would hook you with the martial arts, but he'd make you do the meditation, and all of a sudden this reversal effect happened after a while. Instead of being so allured by, the media hype of Bruce Lee and the martial arts, and I can kick butt, and you just came into this peaceful state, this calm state of not really interested in fighting, not really interested in pursuing that, but more getting in touch with your true nature. Okay? So let's just start off with that meditation first, sitting. You can do a cross leg. If you have any particular challenges with crossing your legs, you can have your legs extended. I know over time people have had surgeries or different things and they can't do that. Obviously you can use a chair if that's something that you want to do too. Personally, if I'm sitting in a chair, I'm going to sit like this. I'm going to make sure my back is straight. I'm going to make sure that my head is relatively up, okay, but with a slight tilt downward, so as if my gaze is pointing down at a 45-degree angle, even if I have my eyes closed, which you can do as well. You can keep your eyes open, that's fine. The idea of having the back straight is so that you can draw the breath down the wind tube, the windpipe, all the way down to the lower stomach. So what I'd like you to do, if you open your eyes, take your fingers and place them on your lower stomach down here, okay? Now when you breathe in, I want you to notice how your stomach pushes out. And then as you breathe out, it returns back. The reason that you're doing this, feeling that lower stomach area, is because then if you feel that stomach moving when you breathe in, you know you're breathing deep enough. Okay? If you look at me for a second, here's how most people breathe. This never gets activated. What this means is that you are breathing in less oxygen. If you're breathing from the chest area, right, from the nose to the chest, you're breathing in very little oxygen. If you breathe from down here, you're breathing in maximum amounts, the maximum amount of oxygen that you can, and it's aiding your whole body and relaxing you even more than you would if you're shallow breathing, okay? So you can continue to have your hands there if you wish, or you can just place them in a comfortable position. I'm not going to get exact on a position, so you can have them on your lap. You can have them in this position here, where you have one hand on top of the other and the thumbs touching. We're going to do this for about 3 minutes to start. So just go ahead and focus in on your breathing. If your attention is pulled away by something that you're thinking about or something you hear in the environment, just gently bring it back to the breathing and be with your breathing.
thinking about Frank's property. Creeping back into my head. So we'll have to talk later.
I can't seem
That's
to,
just, oh, sorry.
I can't seem to quiet the inner voices in my
Mhm.
head, like I got to use it and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
How do you stop all that?
Just practice. Just practice, that's all. You can't actually willfully stop it. It's very much like if you joined a gym and your goal was to, be a bodybuilder, okay? So you wanted to build muscle, all right? So here you go, you join a gym and you sit there on the weight bench, right? And you think about lifting those weights, right? Your body's still not gonna get any more developed by thinking about those weights, right? But if you start lifting those weights, your body's gonna respond after a duration of time of you doing it on a regular basis. So you're training your muscles. The mind is exactly the same. The mind responds to spaced repetition practice, all right? When I first started doing this, my mind was all over the place. I mean, the least thing I wanted to be doing was sitting down and having to deal with my thoughts that kept coming up and invading my space. I'd rather be stimulated by whatever. I don't want to deal with what's coming up in my head. Holy mackerel, like it's too busy, there's too much, some of it's painful, some of it's, from the past. But one thing that I did notice is when I kept doing it, after a while, that started to settle down. It's like the turbulent waves started to even out, become more placid. Okay? So if you continue to do this on a regular basis, even if you are still not experiencing that calmness in your mind, you will find that the ocean will calm. It will begin to calm. Because the mind responds to the practice. It doesn't respond to the thinking. It doesn't respond to the willfulness of trying to make it happen. It simply responds to the spaced repetition, just like you would if you were building muscle. It doesn't happen in one day. It won't happen by thinking about it. It will only happen if you continue to do the exercises. And I fell into that completely by surprise. And that's the only reason really why I continue to do it today, is because I experienced the benefits before anybody told me what the benefits would be. Nobody told me what the benefits would be. I just experienced them. Okay? That's exactly what I did about 2 to 3 times a week when I went into martial arts classes. Only we did it for about 5 minutes before class. That was probably about 3 minutes. Okay? And we did it for 5. And within 2 to 3 months, I started noticing significant benefits just off of that little exercise. So why don't more people do it? Why don't more people do this little breathing exercises, centering exercise? Because there's too many other things you can do. Because you could have a coffee instead. You could turn on the news, you could make a phone call, you could get on the internet, you could answer emails, you could blah, 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 right? It's easy to do all that stuff. It's a little more challenging to set up a routine when you're doing this on a regular basis. Okay? This is why group situations are good too, because everybody's doing it.